Welcome, Eagle Readers. I'm Mr. Jim, and I want to welcome you to Words Alive Story Station. I'm so excited because today we're going to be reading a book called The Woods, right? By Paul Hoppe. It's very special. It's kind of short, but I think you'll like it a lot. So let's make sure we have our eyes on, take our zero. We're looking at our reading eyes, so we watch the book as I read through it. We take our C's, right? And we have our listening ears on, right? And I'll be asking you some questions as we move through the book. So get that voice box ready, right? Okay? And then we're going to sing our song about a book, the elements of a book that's so important. And it goes a little bit like this. The title's on the front. The title's on the front. Hi-ho, biblio, the title's on the front. The author writes the words. The author writes the words. Hi-ho, biblio, the author writes the words. The illustrator draws. The illustrator draws. Hi-ho, biblio, the illustrator draws. And the spine binds the book. The spine binds the book. Hi-ho, biblio, the spine binds a book. And now it's time to read. And now it's time to read. Hi-ho, biblio, now it's time to read. So let's look at this book today. Again, it's called The Woods by Paul Hoppe. Maybe he pronounces it Hoppy because we have two P's and an E at the end. And what does it mean when there's only one name on the cover of the book? Do you know? Right. It's the same. The author and the illustrator are the same person. So they wrote the words and drew in this book very colorful pictures of some animals and other objects we're going to get into. And the other thing I wanted to point out this book is if we look at the character, he doesn't have a name in this book. Does he remind you of somebody? Maybe a boy you've seen in another book? Well, for me, he kind of resembles Max from Where the Wild Things Are, right? By Maurice Sendak. That's another book you should read. So let's start and read about the woods and see what happens. Every night before bed, I turn on my nightlight. So you can see his nightlight is plugged in the wall. Do you have a nightlight in your bedroom? Right. Makes us feel better so it's not too dark. I read a story and curl up under a blanket and give my bunny a hug. But last night, I couldn't find my bunny anywhere. There was only one place left to look. So we see his teddy bear here, but he's got a bunny somewhere that's missing. We look at the other objects here. I had to go into the woods, and I wasn't afraid at all until I ran into a big, scary, brown bear. Whoa. See our big words with their exclamation points? So when the author wants to make it really emphatic, really important. And see the funny thing I like here with this bear? Oh, look at that. He's wearing a necklace that says honey. That's either his name or what he likes to eat. But the bear was just afraid of the dark. So I shared my nightlight with him. So his nightlight, he put on a necklace. So here he is. The bear put the nightlight on his necklace. Then the big brown bear followed me deeper into the woods. And we weren't afraid at all until we ran into two scary giants. So we see the two giants. They're dressed in green. You see them on either side of the two pages. One is sticking out his tongue. Do you see that? Yeah. But the giants were just bored. So I shared my bedtime story with them. And here he is, reading the bedtime story, just like I'm doing with you right now. Then the giants and the big brown bear followed me deeper into the woods. And we weren't afraid at all until we ran into a scary, fire-breathing, triple-headed dragon. So triple-headed means how many heads? Right, 3 heads. 1, 2, 3. 3-headed dragon. What color is that dragon? Purple, right. But the dragon just had a stomachache. That's why he was breathing fire, maybe. So I gave him a hug. There we see the boy giving the dragon the hug. Then the fire-breathing, triple-headed dragon, the giants, and the big brown bear followed me deeper into the woods. And we weren't afraid at all until we came to a big, spooky, dark cave. And at first, no one wanted to go in. Would you go into that big, spooky cave? No, me neither. But we took each other's hand. We took each other by the hand and marched into the dark together. Right? Sometimes if we do something that we're a little afraid of with a friend, holding hands, then it's not so scary. And we ran into a very big, hairy, scary monster. He had something furry in his hand. Look, do you see it? What do you think that is? Could that belong to the boy? I think so. I asked him, why did you take my bunny? Because I'm lonely, all by myself in this big, spooky, dark cave, said the very big, hairy, scary monster. Look at him. Well, why don't you come back with us then? We'll all share my bunny. So we did. Now you see a picture of the big scary monster whose color is blue, right? And our pink triple-headed dragons, our bear, the boy and his bunny, and the two giants, all together. And now, look at the next picture. And we were not afraid at all. So now you see the boy and all those creatures we saw in the woods are really in his bed with him. He's got his bunny, his dragon toy, the bear toy, and the big blue monster toy with the nightlight plugged in so they all feel safe and sound. And that's the end of our book called The Woods. brought to us by our friends at Chronicle Books, who we want to thank. And I want to thank you for joining Story Station once again, and look forward to seeing you next time.